A very warm welcome to all our viewers. Nigeria's political landscape may have just witnessed one of its most significant moments ahead of the 2027 general election. Senator Rabiu Musa Kwankwaso, the vice presidential candidate of the Nigerian Democratic Congress, NDC, believes the combination of the Obidients movement and the Kwankwasiyya movement could produce what he described as a lot of surprises. If his prediction becomes reality, it could reshape the political map of Nigeria and present one of the strongest challenges yet to President Bola Tinubu's administration. The bigger question is this: can an alliance between Peter Obi's supporters and Kwankwaso's political structure become the force that changes Nigerian politics in 2027? For millions of Nigerians frustrated by economic hardship, rising inflation, unemployment, and insecurity, the possibility of a united opposition is becoming a subject of growing interest. Many voters have repeatedly argued that a divided opposition makes it easier for the ruling party to retain power. Kwankwaso now believes the situation could change. Speaking during an interview on Channels Television's Politics Today, Kwankwaso dismissed claims by former Borno State Governor Ali Modu Sharif that an alliance with Peter Obi would struggle to gain support in Kano and northern Nigeria.
About the Southern Republic, we know ourselves very well. And up to now, I communicate with them, especially Senator Ali Sharif himself, and I know what he tells me. And I have heard him when he was here, but I can tell you he was not serious about it. He just wanted to impress our brother in the villa to convince him that he is working. But the fact of the matter is even the worst enemies will tell you that Kwankwaso has Kano. But the point he wanted to make was even Kano was divided and so on and so forth.
Kwankwaso also dismissed suggestions that his political influence in Kano had declined. Even the worst enemies will tell you that Kwankwaso has Kano. Rather than feeling threatened by critics, he said he actually welcomes attempts to underestimate his political strength. I am not one of those politicians who go out there bragging.
Now, I am not one of the politicians who go out there bragging and so on. In fact, most of the time I feel happy when people decided to underrate me.
The former Kano governor also rejected claims that Peter Obi would struggle to attract northern votes. He reminded Nigerians that Peter Obi secured more than 2 million votes across northern Nigeria during the last presidential election. Peter is not a new person in terms of running the election in northern Nigeria. In the last election, he got over 2 million votes in northern Nigeria. By whatever standard, 2 million is a huge number. Kwankwaso believes those supporters have not disappeared. In many parts of northern Nigeria, Peter himself is very formidable. The people who voted for him that time are still around. Perhaps the most important part of his interview came when he spoke about the political potential of combining both movements. According to him, this combination of Obidients and Kwankwasiyya will spring a lot of surprises, especially from the young men and women who are not too worried about some of the sentiments Ali Modu Sharif and other people are trying to paint. Those comments are likely to resonate with many Nigerians hoping to see a more united opposition in 2027. Since the 2023 election, one of the biggest arguments among opposition supporters has been that fragmented votes benefited the ruling APC. Many believe that if major opposition figures had contested on a single platform, the election would have looked very different. Whether that view is correct remains a matter of political debate. But the discussion has continued to shape conversations about 2027. Kwankwaso's remarks suggest that opposition leaders are beginning to think beyond individual ambitions and are placing greater emphasis on coalition politics. If the Obidients movement, which attracted millions of first-time and young voters, combines with the grassroots structure of the Kwankwasiyya movement across Kano and other northern states, the political equation could become far more competitive than it was in the previous election. For many young Nigerians, this possibility represents more than an electoral alliance. It represents hope that opposition parties can put aside personal differences and present a united front around issues such as the economy, insecurity, unemployment, education, and governance. Whether such an alliance eventually materializes remains uncertain. But the conversation itself reflects growing public interest in a credible alternative ahead of the 2027. At the same time, any coalition would face significant challenges. Successful alliances require agreement on leadership, policy direction, campaign strategy, and power sharing. Political history has shown that negotiations among major political figures can be complicated, particularly when presidential ambitions are involved. Even so, Kwankwaso's confidence sends a clear message. He believes the political structures built by the Kwankwasiyya movement, combined with the nationwide enthusiasm of the Obidients movement, could surprise both political opponents and election observers. As the countdown to 2027 continues, Nigerians will be watching closely to see whether today's political statements develop into tomorrow's political reality. If the alliance, Kwankwaso, and vision eventually comes together, it could become one of the defining stories of Nigeria's next presidential election. For more updates, stay with us on News Express. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. I am Cassie Tony, and many thanks for watching.